Let's take learning the word for bean as an example. Most of us as teachers will focus on what we want our students to memorize: the pronunciation, the tone, the pinyin spelling, the order of the strokes in the character, and so on. And we'll focus on how to get our students to memorize: repetition with flashcards, character tracing, quizzes, and so on. And once we've confirmed that our students have memorized the new word successfully, that lesson is over, and we turn our attention to the next word to be learned. If we let the machine take care of that part, then we can focus instead on helping our students to use the new little thing that they have learned in order to navigate the real world with greater confidence. It's only when we know that our students have learned the character Do that we can show them characters in interesting fonts or handwriting styles and let them work out which of the characters that they have learned this is. Or we might show our students a number of different images and ask them to find the character Do in each one. We could ask our students to do an image search for Do and then for bean and ask them if they get the same results. If they don't get the same results, what does that tell us? And we might introduce something of contemporary cultural significance, like this. Many non-Chinese learners will never have seen something like this, much less tasted it. Most of non-Chinese speakers would not refer to the bubbles as beans, but they might well be referred to as Do in Chinese. And finally, we could ask our students to guess why this particular brand called themselves Koi. It won't be long before someone in the class spots that Koi looks like the character Do rotated. That realization will bring delight to the students and motivate them to learn another word so that the teacher can give them something else interesting to discover in the next lesson. If you ask people to think of an object that represents China, most people will think of the Great Wall. If you ask English speakers what word might follow language, many will say barrier. When our focus is on the language, it can feel like an endless wall that separates people. But in Chinese, the measure word for a language is men, because the language is not supposed to be a barrier that keeps people out, but a gateway that welcomes people in to a whole new world for them to discover and explore. So at Wo Hui Mandarin, we're rethinking the teaching and learning of Mandarin Chinese and helping our students to discover just how much they can do.